Hi guys, this will be a quick showcase of the self-assessment module with Capium. As you can see here, this is where we have our global dashboard for the self-assessment module. And you may notice we have three different forms. So we have the SA 100, 800 and 900 all supported. So if you are dealing with trusts, for example, you can obviously toggle to the SA 900 and add the trust in and do the trust return for them. Same goes for the SA 800 with your partnerships and LLPs, and the 100 for the sole trader and the individual. So again, before we start one of these processes, guys, a prerequisite with the clients, of course, you need to have them bulk imported either via My Admin, or you can just go through and add in the client individually through the system. And also, before we do start the self-assessment for the client, I just also wanted to shed a bit of light to the HMRC agent authorization process. So this will be more for the SA 100s. So if you're dealing with self-assessments for individuals or sole traders, you can get an SA 100 API link enabled with HMRC globally. So what that means is that if you follow this three-step process after you clicked onto this HMRC agent authentication button, and once you do get that authorized, any of your sole traders or individuals, you can technically synchronize that data from HMRC to Capium. So we'll go into that in a bit more detail later down the line. But before we do, I'm just going to go back to the self-assessment dashboard where we came from. And this is where we'll click onto one of our clients. So if I click onto Vasant, this will then take me into their specific dashboard. I can see their details, tax summary, as well as any previous year tax returns that we have done for them as well. So if I click onto the plus button, this is where we can obviously fill out all the details. We've got the reference number, description, tax year, as well as the return type, either new or amended. And with Capium, we do have 4 modes of import supported, again, because it's integrated. So you can obviously use previous year to help you out with the new year tax return if you have that data already in Capium. Bookkeeping, of course, is supported, as well as the account. So if you have sole trader accounts in the system, you can use that to help you out with your new SA 100 return that you're generating, or manual, which is all from scratch. So whichever one you pick, you can obviously click save, and this will take you into the next phase where you can start editing your SA 100 return in more detail. So as you can see, we've got the main form where we have our income section with interest and dividends, UK pensions and so forth, tax relief, finishing the tax return with all the links supported in between, so you can go into them and add in all the entries in accordingly. We also have the supplementary forms, which you can either click onto this link or at the top. And once we select the specific forms we require, they will then automatically populate out at the section over here. So if you're happy with that, obviously you can then go through the details and add in the specific sections in accordingly. And as you can see, we do have the mode of imports supported there as well. You can also add any additional attachments into your SA 100 via PDF. Tax calculation will all be shown within this section here. And of course, we have HMRC Connect and the non-employment, which I mentioned briefly before. So as I said, if you do have this authenticated, you can technically bring across any of your employment records, P60, pension details from HMRC directly into the self-assessment, which is really handy. Again, saving you that time and money just to having, manually enter that data into the system. So once, of course, that is all done, you can obviously see the final product of the SA 100. So this is where you can see the main form with all the supplementaries that you've just added in the previous step as well. You've also got all of your SA 302 computation files, payments on accounts, detailed schedule. So you can go through and have them downloaded via the PDF option as well. And if you guys, of course, are happy with the SA 100 form that you have generated, you can then technically go back to the dashboard where we initially came from. And before having that submitted to HMRC, we do also have the additional option of having that e-sign or Capi sign, as we like to call it at Capium. So if you want to get that e-sign, you just go to the action. You can then have that sent to Capi sign, and that will then be sent to an external portal where you can get that e-signed with your clients either by email or via the Capium Hub portal. Once that's been signed, you can then have that submitted directly to HMRC. And as mentioned before, with corporation tax, you can either use your own or your client's government gateway credentials. But before you do that, there will be a pre-validation status report, which will flag up any potential errors or mistakes that you may have with the tax return that you're generating. And of course, once that's done, that will be submitted to HMRC. So aside from that, guys, that was just a brief showcase of the self-assessment module. And yeah, thank you for watching.